There they were on stage for 90 minutes, back and forth. We've already dissected in the show what they said, but what about how they said it, their body language? We are joined now by Tonya Reiman, internationally recognized body language expert. She is great at figuring out what's going on in the head as they're doing all this stuff. Tonya, welcome.
Thank you.
Let's start, please, with the first moment of the debate where they came out to say hi to each other.
Yes, the wonderful handshake. Okay. So, you know, they come out. Remember, he's got a very big height advantage, but watch how he shakes her hand. She pivots towards the audience so she gets more face time. But what does he do? He touches her. And that's a power play. Whenever you touch someone, what you're saying is, I'm the dominant individual.
So he touched her with one hand and shook with the other.
Right. And then she pivots towards the audience so she can keep most of her face, but at the same time, the touching is a tell.
It was also like, I basically don't want to have anything to do with you. Yeah. That was her kind of the way she shook his hand.
Well, yeah, when you pivot away from someone, you're disrespecting them, especially in a handshake.
Okay, I didn't realize that.
All right, we got the walking down. Now, some people noticed that Donald Trump was drinking from a water glass.
Yes.
Now, what can we find out about his psyche from that? That he was thirsty.
Yeah, you know what happens? When we become nervous, our salivary glands stop working appropriately, so we constantly drink water. So that was the interesting piece about this, because he's constantly saying how she's unhealthy and dehydrated, which was why she went to the hospital, but he's over there drinking water. You didn't see her at all.
Does that mean, though, that he was nervous, or maybe that he was thirsty? And when you talk a lot, sometimes you want to drink water.
No, you saw the cues that he did have anxiety, the displacement activities when he's touching the microphone all the time. Here's the difference. Just because he's this professional businessman doesn't mean that going on your first presidential debate isn't going to cause some inward anxiety.
And everybody was talking about how she was going to be over-prepared and he was going to be under-prepared. There was some sniffing going on, too.
It's not. That's another indication. It's not that he's sniffing. This is going back and forth, Twitter, everywhere. When you do this, what you're doing is you're trying to get more oxygen to the brain to calm you down, slow your heart rate a little bit, and he does this repeatedly. I see that you're ready, Greg. I see the map.
Well, we've got a couple of things to go through here. The waving around stuff, like this kind of thing. Let's go to that videotape. We've all seen him move his hands a lot with that little OK symbol. What does this mean?
Really, when he's doing this, he does not have that many gestures. Like, if you look at people, a lot of them have tons of hand gestures. He doesn't have that many. He uses the same hand gestures over and over again. So these are just his talking points, so to speak. When he waves his hand outward, he's trying to be more expansive, look bigger, and that's normal.
Okay, the other thing people were talking about was the shimmy. Greg, you want to show that?
I think we have it all.
Did you see the Hillary shimmy?
Yes.
Everybody is talking about it this morning.
Well, that was because, you know, this was right.
There we go.
Yeah,
you saw it. What's he doing there?
Trump had literally just gone on this non-stop rant about, you know, going on, and then it turns into temperament. So she has to show she's fun, too. Of course, you know, she tries so hard to come across as this happy-go-lucky person, and that's her go-to look. Like that Jimmy was like, yeah, I'm fun. But at the same time, her go-to look is that smile, and it doesn't really always work for her.
Can I see the shimmy one more time, please? I thought, and I didn't go to, you know, the body language school, that it meant that she had so much to work with there, because he had just gone on a rant that she was like, okay,
give it to me.
Where do I begin? There's a lot to choose from, and she was kind of feasting on that moment.
Oh, absolutely. But that's also part of her trying to be human. For people to say that she's not robotic, everyone keeps saying she's robotic. So this is her way of saying, yeah, I'm fun.
But that's not like, she didn't consciously do that. She just did it. Do you think she consciously went like that?
I think that there was a part of her that knew that this is, hey, let's dance, you know, sure.
Well, at least she didn't like start laughing hysterically.
Yes,
sometimes
she does that.
All right, at the end, again, patting on the back. Donald Trump touches her on the back.
That becomes a big deal. Watch, you'll even see him do a double pat. Okay, so now...
Really? I think that's kind of a habit. I think some people do that all the time.
Really? So if there is a subordinate who comes over and does that to the boss, do you think that's acceptable?
Oh.
Interesting. So he's, again, doing that whole domination thing.
Yes, I am the man in control. Tap, tap, tap. I start the handshake and I end it by tapping you to let you know it's over.
Interesting. Never thought of that, though, Tonya. We appreciate that.
I got one more.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, Lester Holt. He was on stage for 90 minutes. I like this guy. He's a superb broadcaster. In the preamble, he looked a little bit nervous to me. Anyway, Tonya, what do you see?
I like him as well, and you're right. He also had a little bit of cotton mouth. You see all the hard swallows he did in the beginning, and the sad thing was at this point, like a lot of people going, yeah, let them duke it out, but he wasn't really moderating. He was just letting them go at it, and he didn't have control. So.
I think when you're in that position, you can't win.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So.
Whoever took that role, kudos to them, because that was a tough one.
Thank you, Tonya.
Thank you.
All right, coming